Wait, so you're saying, Bruce, I'm here with the beautiful, incredible, talented Bruce Lipton. Anyway, no, I was talking about the myth of the 12 strands.
Yeah, it is a myth.
It is. That's
I tried to trace it all back to the original source, and it was just a hypothesis, an idea with no foundation, no science. But the catchword is DNA. As soon as you say DNA, people go, ooh, there's got to be something. I go, DNA is simply a blueprint to make a protein. It's all it is. And the idea that, it can turn on and off is 100% false. There is no gene that turns on and off. Genes are blueprints. They can be read, but they can't control their own reading.
What turns them on and off?
Is the environment.
Yeah, you've never changed that since I met you in 1999.
No, it's more accurate than anything's ever been up to this moment.
We are a reflection of the environment, or the perception of the environment.
We are the response to our perception of the environment.
So how does epigenetics work? How do we change, if the environment's not changing, or maybe it is, how do we change our DNA?
The way you have to do it is to have an intention and a vision of where you want to go. The system will do it without us telling do this, do this, do this. That's where we think we must control all of this. And the fact is, no. You start with an intention. The mechanism knows how to make an intention manifest, okay? And so the idea is you have to start with an intention, and you also have to recognize, as long as you're coming from your subconscious program, which means you're not paying attention.
Right.
Your life is not under your control. Your life is under the control of the program, okay?
Right.
And the only way to get out of the program is to stop thinking, which is called being mindful. And this is how come when people fall in love, their life was blah, 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 blah every day.
It's the honeymoon
and
effect,
then all of a sudden they have a honeymoon in 24 hours. I said, what the hell was the difference from blah, blah, blah to heaven on earth? And the answer was, they stopped thinking. Because when you're thinking, you're no longer in charge of the conscious processing. When you're thinking, the subconscious is in charge. And then here's the problem, because you're thinking, you're not paying attention, and whatever programs are coming from the subconscious, you're the only one that can't see it. That's why I tell the story, like for 40 years, I tell the story. You have a friend, you know your friend's behavior very well, and you know your friend's parent. And then one day you see he has the same behavior as the parent, so you say, hey, Bill, you're just like your dad. And I know exactly what Bill's going to say. He's going to say, how can you compare me to my dad? I'm nothing like my dad. I say, I know that's the result. I say, why is it important? Everyone else can see that Bill behaves like his dad.
Right.
The only one who can't see it is Bill.
Yes.
And then it comes to, you want to get to the conclusion, the answer is, we're all Bill. We're all doing this every day.
So we have to go to the subconscious mind, change the patterns there, and be more present.
That's it. If you're present, then you don't default to the subconscious. But it's very difficult to stay present or mindful in a world as busy as the one we're living in. So it's very difficult. So the easiest way is to go in and reprogram the subconscious, and that way it can play automatically like it does, but it'll be playing something that will support you rather than the program that was undermining you. And most of the programs, 60% or more of the programs that's been demonstrated, are disempowering and self-sabotaging programs.
When we get through that, when we get to like the even playing field, and we are in presence, then what happens to the human being? What's the potential of who we are at that moment?
There is no limitation on the potential of who we are. The only limitation we have is on the other people around us, because if their thinking is counter to what we believe in, you have to recognize our thoughts are not contained in our head. I say, look, put wires on a person's head, electroencephalograph, you read your brain activity inside your head. Everybody goes, oh, my thoughts are in my head. I go, there's another device called magnetoencephalograph, does the same reading, but the probe is out here.
The thoughts are in the field.
So the thoughts it's picking up a thought out here, which means your thoughts are not contained in your head, you're broadcasting them. Well, when you broadcast an energy, your energy interacts with the energy of the world. And there's, which I talk about as constructive and destructive interference, where if your energy is in harmony with an energy, it empowers it. If your energy is in contrast to another energy, it can cancel it. And all of a sudden I say, well, then you got to be careful what your thoughts are, because you're broadcasting an energy that will shape the world around you.
And you're also picking up those energies
100%. 100%.
So we are, in a sense, consciousness is even not in the body. Like the receptor sites, we're picking up the broadcast,
The broadcast, and that's what the whole separation is, because conventional science, being Newtonian, focusing on the material world, says, oh, the receptors, the DNA, and I go, that's a response mechanism. That's not the source. The source is the broadcast in the field. And it's so what I like to help people is say, look, it's like a television set with the broadcast being received in the mind.
Right.
And then we play it on our show, the Bruce show you're watching on this TV. And I go, but it's just like a TV, receiving a broadcast and playing it. So if the body dies, it's like the TV is not working. Say TV's dead.
Right.
I go, yeah, but is the broadcast still there? And the answer is, of course the broadcast is still there. You just need another TV that's tuned to the station and you're back again. So the point about it is, we're not even in these bodies.
Right.
But we have the control mechanism up here if you exercise the control. But if you give it to the subconscious, you gave away the power of control to a program. And those programs are mostly disempowering.
So to become the awareness of that immortal essence, how does that change human civilization?
Well, I can only talk to a personal level. You
Yes,
ready?
tell me.
Yeah. As my book started off, Biology of Belief, I said, I'd rather be anybody but me because my life really sucked. And I say, who do you want to be? I say, anybody but me, you know?
Yes.
And and then today I say, now what? And I say, well, once I understood the nature of the programming and rewriting the programming and living the life I have now, my answer is clear. I want to be me. I don't want to be anybody else. Why? Because I've learned how to manifest the heaven on earth as a way of life. And I've been living that way 28 years or so with my partner, Margaret.
And not only that, the world has acknowledged you as a leader of a new way of thinking. No, it's not just you.
Maybe I said that.
You said it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I want, while we're on the air,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this man.
Oh.
He saw what I was talking about years before anybody knew what I was talking about. And I'm so happy because he's one of the few people that when I was talking and he was like recognized, it was like, oh my God, somebody understands what the hell I'm talking about.
You know, I saw a small article about you in a paper called The Golden Thread that was published in Yale, Washington.
yeah.
Yes, I read that. I said, I have to find this guy. And I tracked you down in your place in the Santa Cruz Mountain, and you welcomed me and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we did that interview before anyone knew you and before you wrote anything. And
Well, that's why I'm very so happy with this guy, because he got me out there early before anybody even knew what the hell I
And
was
then
talking
I brought you to New York, to the Friends
New
of the,
York,
to the
Big
Institute of Noetic Science there
Yes.
in New York, and they loved you there, and that's where you met Mitchell and all those people.
Yes.
And now look at you, you can't even get an appointment with you.
That's not true. I'm just hiding out.
No, but you made a revolution in bringing science and spirituality together. That's why I appreciated you from the beginning,
Yeah.
really.
Well, the best part about it is it could be just knowledge or it could be practice.
Yeah.
And I took it from knowledge into practice. And that's when the whole world changed for me. And so much people have the knowledge, but it's not part of their practice. So they're very smart in their conscious mind, but their lives don't reflect it because they're not using that conscious mind.
But you also told me in 1999 you had a moment of awakening.
Yes.
You don't really talk about that much. Like that light went on. It's like, oh yeah, we're not the receptor site. We're in the field.
It was the greatest discovery because I was not a spiritual person at all. I didn't even believe in it.
Right.
And then started to recognize, oh my God, that's what the cells were revealing to me. The cells showed me that. And it was like the biggest shock of my life because I wasn't asking the cells to show me. They were just telling me. It was like,
In that moment, you merged spirituality and science and biology. That was a key moment for human civilization.
that was the biggest moment in my whole life because the first thing I realized, ready?
Right.
I can't die. I'm not even in here.
Right.
And all of a sudden the fear of death disappeared, and that's the greatest fear that any human can have.
Well, what do you think of meeting Anita Moorjani, who actually did die? And
Well,
she
that
she
was the
wasn't
beautiful
dead?
part when I read her book. I said, oh my God, she's the poster child for biology of belief. It's just that she's doing everything I talked about.
And she's an incredible person. She's
Absolutely.
so vital.
And she's still here.
Yes, and she died. And she's back.
And she's back.
And she's beautiful in delivering that message that, you know
Absolutely.
what, we don't die.
That's what I love about it.
The world dies from us, right?
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Alan.
you.
He's a good guy. Thank you so much, Alan.
Bruce, thanks for your time. Oh,
I
should I
appreciate
give
it.
you a copy of my book? Did we
Okay.
get a copy?
I have it at home.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
I didn't write the endorsement yet, but he's got a new edition coming out. Time for a new endorsement.
thank you, Bruce. We'll do it at dinner, okay?